This is iFIBER 1 News. Here are today's top stories.
A man was resentenced to 55 years behind bars in a 2013 murder outside a Moses Lake convenience store.
As the 4th of July approaches, the Wenatchee Valley is 2 years into an outright ban on the sale and use of fireworks.
Apple Sox are back in town for a 7-game homestand this week, beginning June 26th, against the Bend Elks.
The family of WSU quarterback Tyler Helinski, who died of suicide in January, said the 21-year-old had extensive brain damage linked to concussions.
From the iFIBER 1 newsroom, this is iFIBER 1 News. And it starts now.
A man was resentenced to 55 years behind bars in a 2013 murder outside a Moses Lake convenience store. A jury previously found Anthony Rene Vasquez, who was serving life in prison, guilty of aggravated murder in the first degree with an aggravator of drive-by shooting, 3 counts of drive-by shooting, witness tampering, and unlawful possession of a firearm. In September of 2013, Vasquez shot and killed 22-year-old Juan Garcia as he sat in his SUV outside the airport grocery on Patton Boulevard Northeast. The Washington Court of Appeals Division III ruled in March of 2018 that Vasquez's violent conduct fell within the definition of first-degree murder, but it was not a drive-by shooting. The 3 counts of drive-by shooting, as well as the drive-by shooting aggravator, were dismissed and the case was sent back to Grant County Superior Court for resentencing. Superior Court Judge John Antos imposed an exceptional sentence of 660 months, or 55 years, in prison for Vasquez. Vasquez's defense attorney had requested a mid-range sentence, while Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Kevin McRae had asked for 530 months, calling the killing cold-blooded. Court records show Vasquez has again appealed his sentence. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
This segment is brought to you by...
Change doesn't have to be complicated. With a low-profile microwave hood combination that's ready to install right out of the box. It fits in the same space as your under-cabinet hood, so you can get your microwave off the countertop and make space for the routines worth keeping. The low-profile microwave hood combination, from the #1 selling appliance brand in the USA.
Whirlpool Appliances, now available at more furniture in Ephrata.
As the 4th of July approaches, the Wenatchee Valley is 2 years into an outright ban on the sale and use of fireworks. The city of Wenatchee outlawed discharge of fireworks in 2016, after the Sleepy Hollow fire 1 year earlier. In Chelan County's unincorporated areas, setting off fireworks is banned year-round except for New Year's Eve. The same holds true for East Wenatchee and Douglas County. As for sales, Wenatchee and Chelan County are no-purchase zones as of last year. Smaller towns within the counties have adopted their own restrictive ordinances, all with potential wildfires in mind. Last year, the State Fire Marshal's Office recorded 83 fires that started due to the use of fireworks, though none of those were large wildfires. That's not to say there's no way to watch the big bangs this year. There are permitted professional fireworks displays set for July 4th in Wenatchee, Manson, and Entiat, and July 7th in Chelan. Jefferson Robbins, iFIBER 1 News.
This segment is brought to you by...
Your taste buds bored? Well, then bring them to Jay's Teriyaki. Not only does Jay's have a variety of teriyaki dishes, they also offer mouth-watering salads and sides. Call Jay's 509-764-5155. Jay's Teriyaki, located at 123 East Broadway in Moses Lake, because it's all in the sauce.
The Apple Sox are back in town for a 7-game homestand this week, beginning June 26th, against the Bend Elks. After falling 2-1 to the Walla Walla Sweets last week, the Sox took a trip to Port Angeles to play a 3-game series against the Lefties. The first game against the Lefties was the first of the season for the Apple Sox to go into a 10th inning. The Apple Sox won that game 9-7. Game 2 of the series went to the Lefties 13-8, leaving the teams to have a rubber match for Game 3. The Sox rallied to take the last win after being down by 5 runs in the first 5 innings. A 2-run homer hit by Mason Morenzo bagged the win, 8-7 for the Sox. The team will now host the Bend Elks at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium in Wenatchee. First pitches are set for 7:05 p.m. More information can be found on the Wenatchee Apple Sox website. I'm Madison Meyer with iFIBER 1 Sports.
The family of WSU quarterback Tyler Helinski, who died of suicide in January, said the 21-year-old had extensive brain damage linked to concussions. Helinski was found dead in his apartment with a gunshot wound and a suicide note on January 16th. Mark and Kim Helinski told NBC's Today Show on Tuesday that the Mayo Clinic requested to do an autopsy of their son's brain. The family in those interviews said the autopsy results indicated that their son had signs of extensive brain damage known as CTE, which has been found in hundreds of former NFL players. Helinski appeared in 8 games during his sophomore season, throwing for more than 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns. His most memorable outing came in a 47-44 triple overtime win over Boise State, in which Helinski threw for 240 yards and 3 touchdowns, coming off the bench, and was carried off the field after the victory. Washington State University said it's adding more safeguards to help students, including a second formal mental health screening for all football players and meetings with all varsity sports athletes to consider mental health risks. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER One Sports.
This is iFIBER One News. For more information on these stories and other news, visit us online at iFiber1.com or check us out on Facebook.